Hello YouTube friends, it's sew time. Today on Sew Aldo, I am going to show you how to easily make a yoga pant set or a loungewear set using a maxi skirt bought from the thrift store. So this is going to be one of those thrift flips and thrifted transformation sewing project. So if you want to see how, then keep on watching. So the first thing I did was cut off the elastic waistband and casing, and I will save it for later because I will be reusing it. Using an old pair of leggings that I already own, I will be using it as a template. I will cut out the front pieces first. I am using the front side of the leggings as my template, and I'm just going to give it about half an inch seam allowance on both sides. I will repeat the same steps on the back piece of the leggings, so I'm just going to place it just like this. You'll notice right away that the crotch seam at the back is a little longer than the front pieces. I also wanted this yoga pants high-waisted just because I am going to make a crop top, so I think it looks nicer paired with a high-waisted yoga pants. Now I am going to cut along the center fold of this front piece just because I wanted to have 4 pieces total. It's time to match the pieces together, so I place the back pieces facing up first, and then I'm going to match the front and back together. This is the settings I use for my serger, so pay attention to these numbers right here. And then I'll go ahead and overlock the edges. And if you don't have a serger, you can easily use your sewing machine. You can use a narrow zigzag stitch or a stretch stitch so the threads will not break when you put it on. It will allow the fabric to stretch. That's why it's called stretch stitch. After that, it's time to match the panels together. As you can see, I am going to place this right side up, and then I'm going to match the other panel, so it's going to be right sides of the fabrics facing each other. And plus, also keep in mind that you are going to match the back edge to the back and then the front to the front. And you are going to sew along the crotch seam, so this is the back right here. Now it's time to stitch the inseams. So I match the seams together, and then I'm going to pin it to secure and then sew it from here to the other end. After that, it's time to attach the waistband. So I'm going to turn it right side out first, And then I am going to grab the waistband that I cut off from the skirt earlier. And then I am simply going to match the width of the waistline just like this, and I'm going to trim it to size. I will add 1/2 inch seam allowance on this end so I can stitch it back later on. Then I'm going to seam rip the edges so I can match the right sides of the waistband together and then stitch it along the edge to secure it, so I will have a loop, and I will do the exact same thing for the elastic. It's time to attach the waistband to the pants, so I'm going to place it on the right side of the yoga pants, matching the raw edges together. So it's much easier if you quarter the waistline first so you can easily match it. For that, I am going to overlock it, and I am going to stretch the elastic as I sew. Then I am going to hem the pants. I'm just going to fold it 1/2 inch and then sew it all the way around using a stretch stitch. It's time to work on the crop tube top. Using a tank top as my pattern as well. As you can see, I just fold it like this to get some sort of square-ish shape. I added about a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the sides and 1/2 on the top because I will be making a casing for the elastic so the top will be snug. And on the hemline, I didn't bother just because it's already finished because it was the original hemline of the skirt. And I match the right sides of the fabrics, and I am going to stitch along the side seam. I am going to fold in 1/2 inch to make a casing for the elastic. I will be using a 1/4 inch wide elastic band. I am using a stretch stitch for this. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it will allow the fabric to stretch. I then feed the elastic through the casing. Tried it on just to make sure that the elastic is going to fit nicely. Then I secured it and trim off the excess elastic. And I stitched the dry opening shut. Decided to add some sheer stitching on the tube top just to give it extra detail. Sheared stitch it at the center. It's about 5 inches long. If you don't know how to shear stitch on fabric, I have a tutorial on how to do that. I'm going to have the link in the description box below or at the end screen, so you can go ahead and check that out. Once you figure out how to easily use the elastic threads, you are going to be shearing a lot of your sewing projects just like I am doing. I absolutely love this detail. It gives this tube top some detail. It has that ruching detail that is super trendy right now. I repeated the same thing on the back of the tube top, except I didn't shear the center back. And this is the final product. I absolutely love how it turned out. You can totally use it for yoga or just a cute trendy loungewear. I think it's super adorable, and actually my daughter ended up liking this and I gave it to her. So this is the closer look of the sheer detail on the bodice. I absolutely love it. It just gives this top some texture. If you enjoyed this sewing projects for beginner, be sure to hit subscribe and like this video for more easy and free sewing tutorials. I will see you next time. Bye!